Man, it's absolutely overwhelming every time I see this van. The amount of damage that was done, it just an absolute miracle that Meagan was able to survive this accident. You know, as it was, I mean, she definitely did have some very serious injuries that almost cost her her life. And, you know, thanks to some, you know, great doctors, she survived and she's doing very well, all things considered. But this van was her home. This was not just a piece of transportation. This was her life. This is where she lived. This is where she hung out. This is where she made me dinner, made herself dinner. And she built this van from the ground up. She spent a lot of time researching and finding just the exact van that she wanted, which is a 350 extended cargo with the barn doors on the side, the very coveted 7.3 liter diesel engine, and then she had it built into 4-wheel drive because Meagan likes to go skiing and she wanted a vehicle that could get her up and into the ski parks without any problem. So she had it built to 4-wheel drive, and then she built out the interior so that she had a nice, comfortable place to live inside the van. You know, so for Meagan, it's not just that her vehicle was destroyed, her home was destroyed. And that's, you know, it's very devastating for a person, you know, when, you know, not only losing your vehicle, but losing where you live. So today we're at AJs 4x4 vans, and thanks to the help and donations of many of my subscribers, we were able to search out and find another 350 van extended cargo with the 7.3 liter diesel. We had to search across the United States, and we did eventually find one in Ohio, and we had it shipped to us here back in Oregon. And today we are going to start rebuilding Meagan's life. All right, so we brought the van in, the old van in. The first thing we're going to be trying to do is actually recover a lot of the parts that are on it. The axles are good, the brakes are good, the transmission looks like it's in good shape, and it's already been converted to 4-wheel drive. So we're going to try to recover those parts, but one of the issues that they're having is because the frame is so bent that they can't actually get the lift underneath the frame to lift the van properly. Alright guys, so we're gonna have to move on to plan B. The van was, because it's so bent right here, they had the lift going in, and it caused the weight distribution to be so far off that it actually, when the lift started to lift it, it ripped the lugs right out of the cement. So they're not gonna be able to use the lift. They're gonna have to now repair that. So we're gonna have to move the van out into the lot again. And we're gonna try to get all the axles off, and then we're gonna try to load it, because the big problem is once we get the axles and everything off the van has to be taken away, and without any axles or anything on it, it's gonna make it extra hard. So that what they were hoping is that they could lift the van up, take the axles off, and then just slide a trailer underneath it, drop it down, and take it to the wrecker. So now we have to figure out, once we get the axles off, how to get the van onto a trailer to get it off to the rest of the van off to the wrecker.
Alright, so basically, because of the way of the frame, it's the opposite. We couldn't get it up with the rack, so we had to take it out, and now we are on jack stands, and we're gonna start to take everything apart.
All right, so what we're doing now is just removing the rear axle. We're trying to leave all the plumbing together. That way, when we install this on Meagan's new van, it can just be a straight shot to it. So, yeah, so it's coming along good.
Alright, so they were able to make pretty quick work of getting everything stripped off the van that we were able to keep. We were able to grab the 2 axles and the transfer case. The transmission unfortunately is too damaged, so we'll have to use the transmission out of the new van. We'll have to send it off to the transmission company so that it can be adapted to 4-wheel drive. Now the big challenge is going to be to get this thing off of jack stands and onto a trailer so it can be sent off to the wrecker. Oops. All right, well, we got done with the old van. We've got the new van in the bay. Man, getting the old van, taking the parts off of that didn't work out as smoothly as we hoped, but we're on to the new van. Where are we at now?
So now it's in here now. We're gonna start tearing apart the whole front suspension and transmission. We do the transmission first because we gotta send it out to get converted into 4-wheel drive. So we'll yank that down, send it over, and then at the same time, start tearing the whole front suspension off. All right, the suspension's out of it now. It's time to trim the cross member to have more clearance between it and the differential.
This is an extremely important step. This allows them to be able to shift the axle forward and give enough clearance between the differential and the cross member for them to clear 35s. Some conversion companies don't do this step and they'll leave the axle shifted back a little bit, but then they can only fit 33s maximum.
All right, so we're taking the diesel out of the fuel tank because we need to notch the fuel tank due to the transfer case for the 4-wheel drive. So we'll lose about 2.5 gallons, 3 gallons at most, and then we'll have plenty of room for the transfer case to clear. All right, so our bracket's installed now. This particular bracket, it's our own design here. One, we build it so we can get the 5-inch lift that we get on the conversions that we do, and at the same time, keep the original angle design of our radius arms. That way, we don't have any issues with alignment and mainly our depth wobble. At the same time, we're able to fit 35-inch tires on it and have no issues. All right, so we're getting ready to install our custom track bar bracket. This bracket was designed for our 5-inch lift and at the same time keep the track bar and the steering lined up so we can eliminate depth wobble. Our bracket bolts on exactly onto the 3 original bolts of our gearbox. So it's a bolt-on part that we built. Okay, so we're working on the rear leaf springs. We're removing the rest of the leaves from the original pack. The reason we do that is we're getting, we have the correct center point for the rear axle. We're grabbing F250, F350 rear leaf springs, removing the top layer off them, or the top leaf, and installing them on here. At the same time, by doing that, we're getting the 5-inch lift that we need for the conversion, and it's a lot stronger pack. All right, so Junior's replacing the coil springs on Meagan's van. We were thinking of using the old ones, but they didn't look quite right. We didn't think they were strong enough. So we're doing heavier duty springs like the ones we use on our vans, especially because this one's a diesel and it's a lot heavier out front, and it would just be a way better spring for the application.
All right, so the guys are finishing up the front axle. This is Meagan's original front axle. A couple things to note is she had just put these power stop brakes on a couple weeks before the accident, so they're brand new brakes. We're going to stick with them because we inspected them. Everything's good there. We're sticking with their Bilstein 5100s, and the only thing that we had to do to the axle was the radius arms were bent, so they replaced those radius arms. Which kind of brings me to one of the things that I really like about this particular style of conversion that AJs does, is everything up front is pretty much stock Ford parts. Other than the radius arm bracket and the track bar bracket, everything else is stock Ford parts, which makes maintaining the van in the future really easy.
All right, so Junior just got done installing our custom cross member. This is one we build here in-house because we get the extra 2-inch drop that we need for this particular transmission and this transfer case. Being a diesel, we need that extra 2 inches in the back where the transmission mount goes, and this is one that works great for us. All right, so Junior just got done installing the transfer case. This transfer case here is not the one that came originally on Meagan's van. This is a Borg-Warner 1356, which is great for the 7.3s. The one she had before was an MP 271, which is for the 6.0s. So this will work great for her. This is gear driven. The Speedo's gear driven. The other one is a pole, so it's completely different.
On Meagan's old van, in order for the 271 transfer case to work properly, she had to get a little control module, and it had to be spliced in between the transfer case and the computer in order to get the van to shift properly and also read the correct speed. By having Art change over to the 1356, that control module is not necessary.
All right, so the tank is being installed right now. This is why we notch the tank, because we're able to fit the transfer case. Here we got a couple inches of clearance.
So the last piece of the puzzle was putting on Meagan's front dual stabilizer. Meagan chose to stick with Bilsteins, and then after they were installed, it was just a matter of getting the tires and wheels on and then revealing the finished van to Meagan.
There you are.
So much. Love it. It looks great. I'm really happy.
Good.
All right, guys. Well, we're all done with Meagan's van. I got Art here. We got Junior, who did a lot of the work on Meagan's van. But what do you think, babe?
I think it looks great. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, no. So it came out great. We had a couple of challenges getting some of the stuff off Meagan's van,
Yes.
but your guys' ingenuity, you guys got it done. And,
Yeah, we had some issues, but we managed. So yeah, it's. I'm glad we're to this point now.
Yeah.
We love you here, but we want you guys out in the woods now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, Meagan's very happy at this point now. We're in good shape. Now we can take the van. The next stop is going to be Les Schwab for some new tires for it. and that will be in another video. And then we're gonna take it home and we're gonna do some build out so that Meagan can kind of re-get the interior where she wants. But this was a huge piece of the puzzle right here, and the guys did a great job at knocking it out. I can't be happier. I hope you guys learned something through all this, and like I said, if you guys are looking to get a Econoline converted, or even the Chevys, right?
Yeah.
Chevy Expresses.
Chevy Express or the Econoline, even a 150, E150 to E450 we can do.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, great job. You guys have seen what Sasquatch can do out in the woods. So, you know, if you guys want something converted, definitely come check out AJs 4x4 Vans. I'll put their website down right here. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please do give it a like. If you guys have any comments or questions about anything, you know, leave those down in the comments. We'll do our best to try to get to those, and we'll catch you guys again outside.